All right, here's where we're at. It's been a couple of weeks since I launched my Pinterest affiliate blogs. Let's check the stats. Impressions are up, no clicks yet, but we're seeing some engagement. Both accounts have been running one pin a day for the past 3 weeks, and now it's time to scale up. Overall, both profiles are looking solid, but we need to expand the boards and fill them with new articles. Pin My Garden is getting about half the impressions of the Tiny Home account. It might just be a more competitive niche. But honestly, it only takes one or two pins to go viral and start driving traffic. So it's probably just a matter of time. Now let's dive into some research using PinClick. I need to select a new keyword for my next Pinterest board, and I'm going with raised garden beds from the list. Let's take a look at what's already ranking for that keyword. It looks like most of the top pins are blog-style posts, things like idea lists, how-tos, and inspiration galleries. That's a good sign. It means content like mine, articles and blog posts, has a solid chance of performing well under this keyword. From here, I'll use this keyword to build a new Pinterest board, and later I'll plan and publish a blog article to match it. In Pinterest, I create the new board Raised Garden Beds, and then use ChatGPT to write the board description. I just drop in the keyword, and it gives me a clean, optimized description I can copy and paste right into the board settings. Once that's done, it's time to move on to the second Pinterest board. Back in PinClicks, I look at the keyword garden party. But after checking the related section, I pivot to backyard garden party. That angle feels stronger. It opens the door for content around design ideas, decor setups, hosting tips, and seasonal themes. Definitely want to try and niche down. Just like before, I run the category through ChatGPT, grab the description, and add it to the board. I'll repeat this same process again for the tiny home blog, making sure each board I create is keyword targeted, content ready, and optimized to rank. All right, let's head over to the tiny home account and repeat the same process. I've already created one board for the keyword tiny home outdoor space. It's a low volume keyword, but I think it's a strong category that fits the account and could attract quality traffic over time. Next, let's drop a general keyword into PinClick and see if we can find something with a bit more volume. Scanning through the list, Tiny Home Storage Ideas stands out. It's pulling in around 6,000 views per month. That's solid. As always, I click through to review the related pins. The main thing I'm looking for is that the top content is blog style, listicles, idea posts, tutorials. If it's mostly e-commerce, I'll usually skip it. I want my content to match what Pinterest is already rewarding in that keyword. Once again, I create a new board for tiny home storage ideas, and then generate a Pinterest board description using ChatGPT. Back on Pinterest, I edit the board and drop in the new description. This keeps everything optimized and consistent with the keywords I'm targeting, and it only takes a few seconds to set up. Next, I move into the article planner section. My focus now is adding new articles for the 4 Pinterest boards I just created. Each board needs at least 10 matching articles to keep the content strategy tight and connected. I also log into WordPress to create new categories for these articles. To speed up the content planning, I use Niche Hunter, a feature dedicated to generating listicle-style article ideas that plug directly into my article planner. I start by entering the base keyword, Tiny Home Storage Ideas. That gives me a subcategory list, and from there I choose a sub-niche. Once selected, Niche Hunter returns 25 new article ideas I can instantly save to my planner. One thing to note, I always check the keyword values in PinClick and Ahrefs. I'll make adjustments if a topic doesn't have enough volume or looks too competitive. Still, this is by far the fastest way I've found to populate my article planner with solid, Pinterest-friendly content. Reviewing the list, I can quickly scan each article's keyword, title, and description. On the far right, there's a Save button for each row. Clicking it adds that article directly into the planner. Before saving, I'll do a quick spot check in PinClick to confirm the keyword has enough volume to be worth pursuing. Then I just move through the list, saving any articles I want to keep. Later, inside the article planner, I can make final edits, tweak the title, refine the keyword, or adjust the description, depending on how the data looks. Now that I've added articles for the 2 new boards on the Tiny Home blog, I want to quickly update the settings for each one. First, I set the article site so they're tied to the correct project. This helps me filter by website later on when managing multiple blogs. Then I set the number of images I want each article to include. This controls how many prompts get sent to the image generator during the build process. From the article list, I'm going to select one article to publish and pin for this video. I click Edit, choose the correct WordPress category, and then make a few final adjustments under the Advanced Options section. For tone of voice, I usually go with Professional. It keeps the writing clean and authoritative. Once everything looks good, I click Generate to queue the article for publishing. Over in the Pending Articles section, it typically takes about 3 to 5 minutes to process depending on the current queue. Once the article is finished, I head over to the Pinterest Scheduler section and click the pencil icon to edit the new article. I check the pin that was generated. In this case, no issues, so I move on to reviewing the article itself. On the Edit Article page, I do a quick scan to confirm all 15 images were generated properly. If I didn't like a particular image, this page would let me regenerate it or even update the image prompt. But everything looks good this time. With the visuals approved and the content ready, I'm good to move forward and publish the article. With the article approved and images sent to WordPress, I'm ready to pin the new article. I go back to the Pinterest Scheduler page and click the Pinterest logo to open up the pin details. From here, I mark the pin as approved, select the correct Pinterest board from the dropdown, and make a few final tweaks to the description. Once that's done, I hit Save Changes, and the pin is published immediately to the new board. Here's the published pin live on the new Pinterest board. To wrap up today, I'm going to create 2 new pins from the article list. These are articles that haven't been pinned in the last 7 days, so they're ready for a new round. I simply choose the article and click Create Pin to get started. In this case, I'll use the auto prompt feature to fill in the fields with fresh, unique text. That way I avoid repeating the same title or description from previous pins. Once the auto-generated info comes in, I make a few final adjustments to the title and description. For this pin, I want to keep the number in the title, so I manually add 7 back in. Then I double-check the description, choose the Pinterest board, and schedule the pin for a future date. I did run into a small issue. The board didn't save correctly the first time. So I just reset the board field, rechecked all the pin details, and saved again. That's it. The new pin is now queued and ready to go live at the scheduled time. After saving the pin details, I noticed an issue with the design of the pin. Looks like it has typos, and I just don't like the design. So I click the refresh icon in the top right corner to regenerate the image. To improve the design, I copy the current image prompt and paste it into ChatGPT for help. The first time, ChatGPT tried to generate the image directly, so I had to stop it and just ask for an updated prompt instead. Once I had the revised prompt, I copied it back into the image prompt section, ready to regenerate a better-looking pin. It takes about 5 to 10 seconds to regenerate the image. This time, I get a design I'm happy with, and so I keep the image pin. I'll now repeat the same process for the second article pin. Once again, I ran into some design issues and typos, so I go back, copy the prompt, paste it into ChatGPT, make the edits, and regenerate the image. Once again, it only takes a few seconds for the image to generate. But this time, the output just isn't something I'd publish. So I hit the refresh button again to reattempt generating a new pin image for this article. Sometimes it takes a few tries to get something you're happy with, but that's part of the workflow, especially when you're aiming for quality pins that actually get engagement. Anyway, it took about 3 attempts for this pin before I landed on something I'd actually publish. That's pretty normal. It's part of the process when you care about design and engagement. I think this is a good place to wrap up for today. In the next video, I'll focus on creating new pins for all of my existing articles. It's time to start scaling up to 2 to 3 pins per day. So, what do you think? Is this process actually scalable across multiple sites? I know consistency is key, but the real question is, how long will it take to actually start seeing traffic?